Hi everyone, my name is Miranda, and I want to personally thank you for taking the time to be here. Every week, my children bring home gobs of paper from school. That doesn't mean that the school isn't trying to reduce their paper use, though. For spelling tests, they cut a sheet of paper in half lengthwise, so for every 2 kids, only 1 sheet of paper gets used. Their teachers quit sending home all the daily and weekly newsletters, and they got the parents' email addresses instead so they can send all this stuff electronically. They're trying, but they really shouldn't be the only ones. What about your office? Have you considered going paperless? Did you know that offices have increased their paper use by 40% since email came about? Generally, North American paper use has gone down, but we still use more paper than anyone else on the globe. Many people wonder what it matters. Many others think about going paperless, but they never actually do it. And many people just don't know how a paperless office can help or harm them. I'm here to help you with that. I'm going to share with you some of the advantages and disadvantages of a paperless office. It is paper versus technology. Let's see who wins. The first consideration that any good business would make is the expenses involved in such a transition. Going paperless can have a long shopping list. It really just depends on where your company is already at. For starters, you may need a scanner and a shredder. You might have to upgrade your whole computer system in worst case scenario. If your office sends a lot of faxes, you might need an electronic fax service. You could possibly have to find an online contract service and some PDF editing software. You need to find a backup solution so your documents aren't lost if your computer system happens to fail. You also have to train your personnel to use the new computer system to scan, file, and retrieve documents. This system is no good if nobody knows how to use it. Another potential cost is hiring an IT person to do these upgrades, system maintenance, backups, personnel training. So, the costs really start to pile up, and you're going to wonder if you're saving money anywhere. The answer to that is yes, you are saving money. You're not buying ink or paper. You're not mailing envelope after envelope to clients, vendors, and business partners. A lot of people wouldn't know this random tidbit, but it takes about $26,000 to fill one standard 4-drawer filing cabinet with paper. Take away those filing cabinets and take away the storage closets that are full of boxes of papers, and you're left with a lot of empty space. What would you do with your empty space? One idea is to move to a smaller office so you can save money on your lease. Another idea is to just expand right where you're at. So you quit spending all this money on paper, ink, postage, a lease on an office that you don't need, and you're suddenly making money. All that equipment and training that you were so worried about is now paid for, and it paid for itself. Another question that any good business would ask is, will a paperless office hurt my business's productivity? Humans are human and prone to human error. Documents can be named wrong or tucked away in the wrong file. Because of that, you could spend a lot of valuable time sifting through computer files looking for this one document. You also have to worry about security. Instead of a locked filing cabinet in your office that only you have the key to, you have a computer system with its own keys and admin rights. Say, for instance, Cheryl in mergers can't access the file she needs because it's under management's lock and key. She has to take time out of her schedule to contact admin to get the file for her, or to at least get access to that part of the system so she can do it herself. It can be a process, but it's all in the name of security. While we're talking about time, going paperless takes a lot of time to accomplish. It doesn't just happen overnight. So before you shred every sheet of paper in your office, you have to find out your state's file retention laws. Then you have to decide if you want to scan and file all of your existing files, or if you want to set a go live date for your new paperless office. And what if your employees don't want to change? It's really easy for us to get set in our ways, and not everyone is willing to jump into uncertainty. So far, going paperless doesn't really sound good for productivity, but there are advantages. Besides the occasional mislabeled document, you won't have any more lost papers. Sally says, I put it on Judy's desk, and Judy moved it to Dan's desk, but Dan said he never even saw it. With the paperless office, your document is most likely tucked away safely in its computer file. Judy already added the client's requests, and Dan added the materials request, and it's waiting for you to approve it and put it to action. You will also feel better knowing that your data is protected. Even if your office or equipment is somehow destroyed, all of your data is backed up online. You have a safety net, and that is really a rare thing these days. What advantages will your employees see? Well, now they can work from a distance. Dan doesn't have to pack up his sick kids and drive to the office now. He can work from home for a day or two until his kids are feeling better and he's back to the office. Business communications expand, while efficiency and employee morale get the boost that they need. And finally, let's discuss the environment. I know you all knew it was coming. How does a paperless office put the environment at a disadvantage? I honestly don't know. Is the tree population going to take over? Will we have too much oxygen? Are we worried about the landfills dwindling down some? So we're probably not worried about any of those things happening, but let's discuss the amazing advantages. When you save trees, you save energy. Out of all of the world's industrial logging, 40% of it is dedicated just to paper. That's almost half of all logging. It also takes a lot of energy to make paper out of that 40% of the logging industry's work. Over 12% of all of the energy used in the industrial world is in the manufacturing of paper, making paper the third most energy intensive out of all of the manufacturing industries. That's a lot of trees and a lot of energy. Those trees ultimately end up in a landfill. Paper is a large percentage of the solid waste in our landfills. In 2009, 26 million tons of paper ended up in landfills. That was 16% of the solid waste that was dumped in our landfills that year. Where you have landfills, you have toxins. Decomposing paper releases methane, which is 23 times more potent than carbon dioxide. We all know carbon dioxide is a silent, odorless killer. Why would we want to fill the environment with a toxin that's 23 times more potent? That's what paper does when we're done with it, but let's go back to when it's being made. Greenhouse gases are also released during the manufacturing of paper, and the paper industry is the fourth largest emitter of greenhouse gases. And here we are. Which one's better, paper or technology? According to my calculations, technology should knock paper right out of the ballpark. If we use the technology that is available to us, we can save money and possibly turn a profit. We can maximize efficiency and productivity without all the clutter. We can save trees, save energy, and save a little bit of our environment. But paper is costing you money. Paper is holding you back, and paper is killing your environment, one filing cabinet at a time. Now, I know it's not so simple to just stop using paper, and I don't expect you to never pick up a sheet of paper again. It will always have its place, but its place in the office can change. I ask you to really consider accepting the paperless challenge. You can do it one small step at a time. Turn off your printer for a day. Instead of printing and filing your emails away, label them and archive them on your computer or your online storage. Buy a scanner. Email your office memos instead of printing and distributing them. Use a tablet or a laptop to record and email your meeting minutes. Take any small step you can, and eventually you'll see the benefits. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you again. It was an honor speaking to you today.